Hey there, how's it going? This is Easy Drawings, and today I'm going to go over how to draw Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's going to be line art. I'm going to go over this step by step. Even if you're a beginner, you can follow along and you can have, the same result. So please grab a pencil. I'm going to be using this mechanical pencil with this just basically regular pencil. There's nothing particular about it. It's like a black colored pencil. It's pretty cool. Excuse me. But that's it. We're going to go through that right now, so stay till the end and we'll do it. So with this mechanical pencil, it can be anything, by the way. In fact, I'll go in this with this regular pencil. I'm going to throw one layer with just the pose. And it's going to be an undersketch. This paper I'm using is completely normal computer printing paper. Totally normal printing paper. Don't worry about it. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. It goes circle shape right there for the head, and I'm going to draw pretty messy and thick so that you can see it. Go across to the shoulders, down to the arms, center line, throwing down his torso. His torso is very boxy, I noticed. Throwing in this point up until the biceps, that from the top of the shoulder to the biceps, and just representing it with a very simplistic tube shape. Throw it out here. And I am going to throw a box at the end of this for his fist. Going into the other side, same thing. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just finding placement. That's all I'm doing. Placement. His legs are much shorter for his torso. That's to make him look all huge. Very hulky. I don't know if this ran off the page. Pull it up. And let me pull that up a little bit. Throw a line here for where the bottom of the overalls end. Because he's wearing overalls. General face shape, we can go through that in the next layer. So look at this right now, right? I'm going to grab this sheet of paper and I'm going to slide it underneath another one. And now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but for me, I can kind of see through it. And that's what I want. I want to vaguely see through it so that I have the proportions down. These are proportions that I did myself. But now I don't have to think about general placement. Now I can concentrate on the next layer of detail. Let me sharpen this thing. Where is the sharpener? Okay, there it is. Okie dokie, hold on. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the face, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be my last layer or if this is gonna be my second layer, and I'm gonna kind of toy with that. So his face is small on the page. I'm gonna throw, excuse me, I'm gonna throw his really large, wide jaw. He has a large, wide jaw. Back of the jaw. Ear shape. And he is gonna have a sideburn and a little bit of a widow's peak in his hair. We're gonna have the center portion of that hair. It's gonna pull down into his brow line. Now, his nose is pretty big and noticeable. It's a shape of its own. So his nose is very ball-like. I'm gonna draw that on there, kind of like a clown nose. I'm gonna draw a smile. And his eye is butting up against his nose, both his eyes pretty much. Throw his eyebrows. And I'm gonna make it a shape. Instead of just shading it in, I'm gonna make it a shape. And what I'm gonna do here, even though this is small on the page, I'm gonna give him a pupil on both eyes right there, even though it's really small on the page. Now I'm gonna pull up for the center portion of his hair. His hair has a spike in it. It has several spikes, and don't worry too much about the pattern. Just make sure it's all kind of coming from the center portion of his head. The center part, you know, like if it's all the same direction, that's fine. You don't have to worry about how big one spike is compared to the other. Just that it's all flowing in the same general direction. That's what's most important. Now I'm gonna go to the back of his neck. He has a huge back of his neck, just like the Hulk and stuff. Pulling down the other side. Pulling across. And that would be like his shirt, and then his he has like an over shirt over that, and then he has overalls kind of going down his side there. So I'm gonna go right here, go to his shoulder, and then I'm still looking at the proportions I put before. Lower arm right here, and I'm gonna pull straight out where his hand is. And so on this side, I'm gonna pull this shape for his thumb. His thumb is making a fist, and he has a square kind of rectangle fingernail. I'm gonna pull out. His hands are bunched up. And I pull across. I pull one line across. His hand is very box-like. And he has 4 fingers. I mean, he has 5 fingers, but I mean, he has 4 in his hand where they're supposed to be. I'm gonna pull right here for a little bit of crinkling at the end of the hand. A little bit of a bicep right there, and also his hands are really, really overly sized for his body type, if this were a real human. Jaw, kind of a hacksaw shape. It's kind of a ripped shirt he's wearing, kind of a ripped farmer shirt. Pull forward. Pull down. Down the side. So that would be his the shirt he's wearing over the other one. And it has this button thing. It looks like he's wearing those pajamas where they go all the way down. Kind of like foodie pajamas or something like that, like long overalls, whatever you call it. Is that what you call it? I can't remember. It's like long underwear or something. So now we're gonna go to the other side. Throw in a little jaggedy shape for that shirt that's ripped. Throw in, I want the bend is a bicep kind of shape. Pull a line out. Another line out. Right here, the same shape for the thumb. And then throw that rectangle or square for the fingernail. And then the exact same thing. It's a box-like pattern for the fist. Very box-like. And just I'm imitating that shape. Pulling across. And then I'm dividing the hands 3 times into 4 fingers at this end right here. And then throwing the little fat pad right there on the hand. So his overalls are falling off. They're only on one side. And that's to kind of create less symmetry, you know? Because like less symmetry sometimes is very unique. It makes it look more interesting, you know? Like the character's done stuff. Like it's actually been through a lot. And I am going to throw kind of like a T shape right there at the button that's holding that overall up. Pulling it down on this side. And I'm gonna pull all the way down the feet, go right side. I'm just copying what I see through the paper at this point. And at the bottom, I create more jaggedy shapes. Pull over here. That's the bottom of the overalls are ripped. Overalls are those things that, you know, farmers wear. Mario has overalls. You know, they're like suspenders. So this is ripped and hanging over, and the pocket or the pattern at the front is being covered up by it. That's what that box is behind there. Pulling downward. Let me try to move the paper up a little bit. Let me try to move it up. Ah! Come on, paper. So his feet also have a very box-like, like the toes at the very end are very box-like. Because he's a, you know, video game, that's what he is. His toes actually only have 4 fingers, unlike his hands. His hands are 5 fingers in total. And you can draw little boxes at the end of that. And also, he has a bit of a hole here on the bottom in his pants. Right over here, the other side. Pulling in and have that box-like pattern as well. Throwing the little squares onto the feet for the fingernails. I'm gonna pull out. See, so this is what I was with right here. I did that on my own, and I threw a regular piece of paper over it. It's a regular printing paper. You can. I did it dark enough so that I can kind of see it, and it creates. You don't need a light board. I mean, a light board could help though, but you don't really need it, in my opinion. So let's go over here, and then the last thing we're gonna do is throw a checkered kind of pattern onto the shirt here, and that's gonna give it that layer of detail. And that's pretty much it. That is Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph. Thank you so much for following. I really do appreciate you watching this video. Please like if you like the drawing, if you're a fan of Wreck-It Ralph. That's pretty much it. Also, recommend what kind of character you want me to draw next, and I will draw it. Hopefully you watched the movie. Did you guys watch Ralph? What's it called? Ralph something the internet? Sorry, my brain. I said at the beginning. Ralph does the internet, I think. Did you guys watch that? Let me know what you thought. I'm really curious about it, but I reply to every single comment, guys. So comment away, and I will talk to you guys, and that's it. I'll talk to you later, guys. See you later.